In a world swallowed by a great flood, a fearless cat sets sail on an extraordinary adventure. Stranded on a drifting boat with an unlikely crew, a wise capybara, a clever lemur, a loyal dog, and a sharp-eyed secretary bird, it must navigate treacherous waters, uncover hidden secrets, and brave both natural and mystical dangers. As towering waves and unknown creatures lurk beneath, their only hope lies in trust, teamwork, and sheer determination. Will they find a new home, or will the sea claim them forever? The movie begins with an adorable black cat that was wandering freely in the jungle. All of a sudden, she paused near a small pond and noticed her reflection. Just then, a rabbit dashed past her, moving at great speed. The cat became slightly alert and swiftly concealed herself in the bushes due to the sound of hunting dogs approaching from afar. After walking for a while, she arrived at a house where a large stone cat statue was displayed. Ascending the wall, she entered through a broken window and settled down to rest in a corner. After some time, she ventured to the riverbank to quench her thirst. Then, she observed the dogs chasing after fish. A scuffle broke out between them, causing a fish to land on the bank. The cat, without hesitation, leaped and seized the fish. However, a golden dog spotted her and signaled the other dogs to spare the cat's life. The cat dashed towards the forest to pursue the deer. In the process, she skillfully navigated a strong current of water, but the dogs continued their pursuit. As the dogs came close to the cat, she slipped under a fallen log. It took the dogs some time to extricate themselves, giving the cat a chance to hide in a secure spot. After a while, she noticed that the dogs were now chasing the deer. Suddenly, the forest became flooded, and the cat found herself trapped. With all her strength, she attempted to escape the water and grasped a nearby branch. But as soon as the dog tried to climb onto it, the branch snapped. Nevertheless, both the cat and dog managed to reach the shore safely. The golden dog resumed its chase of the cat, but when a predatory bird swooped down to attack her, the dog scared it away. They both made their way back to the house where the cat had seen the statues. The cat settled beside the statue, her favorite spot, while the dog kept a watchful eye on her from below. The next day, the cat noticed that the dog was distressed due to the rising water levels. He discovered an old shoe and offered it to the cat so they could find a safe place. As the water continued to rise, the cat began to feel a bit frightened. Finally, the floodwaters begin to approach the statues and engulf them. Cat ascends the statue and starts searching for an escape route. Then she spots a boat in the distance. She exerts all her energy to reach the boat and climbs aboard. A charming little capybara is sitting in the boat, not frightening Cat. Both of them drift off to sleep comfortably together. The next day, the rain continues. They take shelter under a large tree. The boat is adrift in the forest amid the floodwaters, and Cat keeps watch over everything. Eventually, the boat enters a rocky region, and a white bird of prey swoops down at Cat. In a panic, Cat starts to tumble into the water, but Cat leaps into the lake. While swimming frantically, she attempts to return to the boat in distress. Then the white bird, which had previously tried to catch her, attacks again. Out of fear, Cat begins to drown, and just when it seems all is lost, a large, benevolent, Mahatma-like Lencia appears. But at that moment, the white bird strikes once more. The cat meows and does its utmost to save itself, until finally the bird concedes and flies away, exhausted. After this, she collapses back onto the boat. The journey of this unusual group brings them to a location where large human statues are partially submerged in water. The water level is rising, and the cat, anxious, approaches Capybara to assist her in navigating the boat. While moving along, they encounter a monkey named Lure near the ruins, sitting with his belongings in a basket. Capybara invites him to join them on the boat, but Lure refuses to listen. Capybara picks up his things and pulls him aboard because the water has risen so significantly that there is no alternative left. Lure gazes at his sinking house with annoyance as the group advances forward. They discover a banana plantation where Capybara distributes the fruits to everyone except Lure, who, absorbed in his own world, begins to sharpen his nails on the wood. In the meantime, the cat climbs the mast and starts soaring high into the sky. Cat enjoys the view. A short while later, Cat has a bizarre dream of being trapped among a herd of deer in the darkness of night, waking up in fright. The group eventually reaches higher ground, where Lure discovers a peculiar object while Capybara relishes the plants. The dog that was pursuing Cat earlier tries to befriend him. He approaches Cat and offers him a fish, but his commotion scares the fish away. It soon becomes evident that the dog, who appeared to be an adversary, was actually safeguarding Cat. Just as he provides the fish, a sudden appearance of some aggressive birds threatens Dog for opposing them and assisting Cat. It isn't long before a group of birds encircles Cat and his companions. The cat dashes towards the water, but is once again caught when the bird leader attempts to attack them. A benevolent bird, who had previously aided her, steps forward and rescues her. During the struggle, the bird is hurt and loses one of its wings, yet the cat's courage ensures her safety. The group continues onward, and at night, the cat rests beside the wounded bird, assured that he is her ally. The following day, the cat attempts to stand on two legs, mimicking the bird. She approaches the waterfall and presents a lure to the monkey, who is preoccupied with his slothful tendencies and hobby of gathering items. After some time, she notices another boat in the distance and playfully frightens them away. Ultimately, the cat assists her friends in navigating the boat. Their adventure takes them to a partially submerged city where a massive rock-like formation awaits them. They navigate through tight pathways and peculiar corridors. Everyone feels slightly anxious that something unexpected might occur. Labrador finds all of this rather dull, so he begins playing with the bird to entertain himself. During their play, Labrador suggests to Lamar the idea of kicking his crystal ball, and as soon as the ball lands in the water, the entire group becomes embroiled in a conflict. Lower insists that he must retrieve the ball. In the process, he attempts to yank the oar from the bird, leading to a tug-of-war that causes Capybara and the cat to tumble into the water. The boat also ends up snagged in a tree, and its sail tears. The cat experiences a bit of panic after falling into the water due to her fear of it, but upon seeing Capybara swimming effortlessly, she makes an effort to compose herself. After a brief moment of anxiety, she gradually regulates her breathing and begins to learn how to swim. Eventually, she swims back to the boat. Just then, someone glides by with elegant movements reminiscent of a ballet dancer and skillfully frees the boat from the tree. The commotion stirs the water, and the group continues their journey. Lore is now serenely observing the sun, while the cat attempts to play with her tail. The Labrador aims to amuse everyone by imitating Lore's behaviors. The cat ventures into the water once more, this time to catch fish. She has now come to understand that living independently is not viable and sets out to catch fish for everyone. The Labrador also hurries to gather food. As evening approaches, the group hears dogs barking from afar. They discover that some dogs are trapped in a tall tower. Capybara and Labrador seek the boat captain's assistance. Initially, they try to flee. The captain declines, but when they persist, he allows Capybara to take control of the helm. Through the team's combined efforts, they free the dogs from the tower. However, the introduction of the new dogs causes tension within the group, particularly between Lamar and the dogs. All the animals attempt to see their reflections in Lamar's mirror, but when the mirror shatters, they all feel disheartened. The cat advises the Labrador that he ought to apologize. Labrador ultimately acknowledges his mistake. The bird comprehends and endeavors to repair everything. It was raining persistently, and the boat was gradually drifting towards the rocks. Capybara exerts all his effort to steer the boat correctly, but the rudder snaps, and the mast collapses. In the meantime, the cat tumbles and loses consciousness. Capybara puts forth his utmost effort to protect it from the rain. The other animals assist as well. The bird also attempts to rescue itself from its damaged flight. When the cat attempts to get to the shore, it plunges into the water once more, but this time, since it has learned to swim, it makes its way to the shore. Passing through the rocks, it observes the remnants of an ancient human civilization. Suddenly, the water level begins to rise swiftly. Meanwhile, a bright light emerges and draws Lure along with it. The cat continues to gaze in astonishment and sorrow, but cannot comprehend anything. Unfortunately, it tumbles into the water. It sees its reflection in the water and attempts to return to the boat. It discovers Lamar's crystal ball and utilizes it as support to reach the boat. Unexpectedly, a fissure opens in the ground and the water pulls back. The cat is able to return to dry land. The cat then journeys a considerable distance through the jungle in search of her friends. As she proceeds, she stumbles upon a large tree where she finds Lure's forsaken basket. She navigates the paths leading to an open amphitheater where numerous lemurs are assembled. She tries to locate her friend Lure, but Lure remains upset and doesn't even glance at her. The cat silently exits, but her departure slightly softens Lemar. He ultimately concludes that the cat needs to be summoned back because he realizes that without her assistance, he will never be able to return to the boat. As soon as the cat shows up, the dog and capybara are so thrilled to see him that they begin jumping in excitement. This creates a violent shaking of the boat, causing it to crash down to the ground with a loud thud. The dogs start descending from the tree one by one, but when it is capybara's turn, the tree begins to bend under his weight. Amid all this commotion, the cat climbs the tree and drops leaves onto his friends so that he can pull the boat. Lamar and the dogs attempt to manage the situation by stepping back slightly, but then the cat loses his grip and slips from a branch. Capybara catches him just before he hits the ground. Out of nowhere, a rabbit comes rushing past. Upon seeing this, the dogs instinctively run to chase him. Only the Labrador remains behind because he realizes that trying to catch the rabbit would be futile. The boat starts shaking even more, but ultimately Capybara is saved. Everyone rejoices at this success. As if a significant mission has been achieved, a herd of deer hurries past. This time, rather than fleeing or hiding due to fear, the cat resolves to demonstrate bravery. Moving ahead, she spots an injured whale in the forest that is nearing the end of its life. Seeing this, she sits beside the whale, gazes into its eyes, and empathizes with its suffering. She offers comfort, and after some time, the whale peacefully embarks on its final journey. This entire experience profoundly impacts the cat. She approaches the water and observes her reflection, contemplating how this journey has transformed her. Then Capybara, Lamar, and the Labrador arrive to comfort her. This reminds us that she is no longer alone. The story concludes on a highly positive note. In the final scene, it is revealed that Vel is alive once more in the sea. It is mentioned that the water level has increased and Vel has been rescued. So friends, this was our delightful story. I hope you found it enjoyable. We will reconnect next time with another intriguing explanation. Until then, take care and continue to enjoy such wonderful stories.